Hi, welcome to Joanna's DIY Life. I am glad you are here. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, then you're used to my craziness. This one is general, crafting and tools and things like that that make my life so much easier. Okay, so some of my favorite things that I feel I need to have to craft with, okay? First one being is this little tool set. These are Stanley. This one is my favorite. I use this one a lot when I am screwing those little bitty screws in, put little bitty hinges on, or, picture hangers or whatever. I use those a lot. So these are very handy to have in your room. When you talk about tools, I cut wire and flower stems a lot when I'm crafting, and I prefer these little minis. They're just easier for me to handle. But I have these. They're bigger. They're cobalt. That's just what my nephew bought me as a gift set, and I use my needle nose pliers a lot. Like I said, I prefer my minis of all of these, and I have a set linked in my description that are a good set. So those are handy. You'll need those. I love my miter shears. Okay, I use these a lot. They have a safety on them, but I use these a lot. I never thought that I would need those, but I really, really like them. You can cut dowels. I'm not going to because it shoots across my room. But you can cut dowels. I've cut them up to this size. I've never cut anything bigger. I have cut the thin wood slices. I made a set of bears, and I cut the wood slices with these, and they worked wonders. Not to mention that they worked good on the trim when we redid our flooring in our living room. But anyways, these I think are one of my must-haves. And also, I never thought that my life needed this until I got it. But the Crop-A-Dile by We Are Memory Keepers. Okay, this thing is awesome. It has on this side a larger punch, and on this side a smaller punch. And then this is just an eyelet setter. It flips around and does all that. But y'all, these things cut through metal. They cut through wood. They punch holes through paper, and they don't stop. It's just like a miracle tool in your hand. And I use this a lot more than I thought that I would. So I love, love, love my little Crop-A-Dile. Another thing I love that just fell apart in my hand is, hold on, my miter box and my miter saw. This is what I use to cut bigger things, unless I use if it's real big, I use my real miter saw. But I use this. It's just handy to have. I have it hanging up on my pegboard. And a little tip, I put a dowel rod in mine because they have a hole in them. They have a hole on either side. And I put a dowel rod in mine, and then I hang my saw on it, and then I hang it by this on my pegboard. But you could tell that I have used this one a lot. This little sander is nice. It gets in little places, that need be sanded that you can't reach. They come with extra sanding pads, and all you do is pull it. It's Velcro, and pop your other one right on there. These are nice. They're easy to handle. They're easy to hold. And like I said, they work really, really nice for small things. Getting inside those Dollar Tree crates, you know what I'm saying? This works great for that. But for my bigger projects, I got this sander, and you could tell I use it quite a bit. This just pops open, and then this will come up, and you pop your sandpaper in there, push it back down, it locks it in place. And it came with all of this sandpaper. All different sizes. Not the 3M sandpaper. My bad. It came with all of these different grit of sandpapers. It's not a bad quality sandpaper. Any of the 3M sandpapers at Walmart work. It's just a nice sander. And I use that quite a bit, and I like it. Another one of the things that I use quite often is this Boss Stitch staple puller. It's magnetic, and when I am taking the Dollar Tree plaques and you know, things like that, if I'm taking those apart and I have to take the staples out, this thing goes right down in, pulls the staples right out. Easy peasy. I love this thing. My silhouette scraper. Y'all, this thing, I did not use it for my silhouette, but I use it all the time crafting. This thing is so handy. It's so thin. It scrapes, especially to get the stickers off the Dollar Tree stuff. This scrapes that off. It'll scrape off any embellishments. It helps scrape off glitter. I use it for prying. I use it for everything. This is one of my most used tools that I grab. It sits beside me when I'm crafting, and I use this all the time. The Cricut scrapers do not work like this scraper. This is awesome for crafting. Okay, so glues. This, if you follow me for any amount of time, this is one of my favorite wood glues. This stuff bonds quick and it holds tight. I have never had anything come apart using this. I do not use hot glue with it most of the time. This works just by itself. I highly, highly recommend this, okay? Highly recommend. E6000. I use this quite often when I am putting glass and I want it to stick really, really good and not come apart. When I make my tiered trays and things of that nature, I use these E6000. And I prefer to buy the little tubes over the big tube because whenever I buy the big tubes, it seems like, you know, my glue will dry up or my cap will crack and then my glue's just no good anymore. I actually had one where I had bent it up so far that glue was pouring out the sides. So I really, really prefer the little tubes because they last me longer and they're easier to use. This is my favorite glue stick. It's a permanent glue stick, and I have used it when I was sewing. I have used it crafting. This is my preferred method to put down any paper. I use this before I use Mod Podge. I love this. It's linked in my Amazon store, of course. Has to be. Now I'm going to talk to you about glue guns. Okay? My favorite glue gun is this. I've had it so long that everything is coming off. But you see that tip? They're interchangeable. This is an Agitech, I think. Agitech, I don't know how you say it. Some people say agitating, but I have never had a problem with mine. These screw off. I love this long nozzle. It is a full-size glue gun. I love using this when I make wreaths and things like that. Bigger, well, I use it for everything. But this is one of my favorites. I have an alternative in my store link, but that's the one I know that I use, and it's been tried and true for me, and I love it. My second favorite gun is this one right here, and this is by Sherbonder, and it has a precision tip. You can buy these corded also, but I love the cordless one. But these are the best little detail guns, okay? You can put on little teeny tiny embellishments with this gun. You know, it puts a little fine line if you need a fine line of glue. Excuse me, I don't know what happened to me there. But anyways, This puts a fine line of glue, and I prefer Gorilla glue sticks. I prefer these over any glue stick. These hold better. They do have a little bit of bonding time. It's not long. You just have to hold it for a little bit longer, but these are awesome glue sticks. Y'all know that this is one of my favorite things in my craft room, and it is so handy, and that is my Ladybug Vacuum. This thing picks up glitter. It picks up sawdust, thank God. It picks up, you know, little papers. It'll pick up staples. This thing picks up anything. If it can get sucked in that hole right there, it's a goner. But anyways, this is a tough little thing. I almost caught mine on fire one time. I don't remember what I was doing, but it started smoking, and I was like, what the world? But anyway, I cleaned it out, and it even works after that. So this is a tough little bug, and I love this thing. It is very, very handy. My grandson loves it too. But anyways, this is a must. Okay, I'm going to show you my big tools now. I use this all the time. This is a Craftsman cordless drill, screwdriver, whatever you want it to be. The batteries pop out. You just push this button and your batteries pop out for charging. The screwdriver is interchangeable. You don't need a chuck or anything. I use that thing a lot, especially when I'm drilling. I have this bit set, but I do have a set in my Amazon store for you that is a good set. It's just like this. It's just smaller, but I do use these drill bits a lot. This is my Jigsaw. I have one linked that is corded, and it's cheaper than this one, but there's also this one available. But the batteries come separate, I think. I'm not sure. But this is also cordless, and it is stout. I love this thing. I just fixed my sewing desk to put my sewing machine down in it to make it flush. And I was intimidated, I'm not even going to lie. But I did it, and this made it possible, and I love it. I love it. So that is a few of my necessities that I have in my craft room, and these just make crafting so much easier and smoother. And these are products that I know that I have and I use, and they work, and they're great products. So I hope this has helped you in some way. If it has, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel and ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, you are a blessing. Goodbye.